We're going to take it down just a teeny bit for just a second because we're in New York. I'm originally from New York. We have any natives here? Yes, native New Yorkers. Now, real quick, before I even get into this joke, native New Yorkers, we're not afraid on the subway. Let's just be very clear about that. You know why? If you're not from here, you may not know this. When you're 3 years old, born in New York, your parents, on your 3rd birthday, kick you down into the subway station. And if you make it home, they keep you, okay? And if not, they chalk it up to the jungle, you know what I mean? They weren't fit to live here anyway, and then they keep going on with their life. So New Yorkers, we are not afraid in the subway no matter what happens, all right? Let's talk about Jordan Neely. We all know who that is, right? Then shout out to him and his family, R.I.P., God bless him and his family. And Daniel Pussy Ass Penny, I think that's his name. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's his legal middle name. But this dude said he was afraid for his life. And I was like, well, maybe he's from Minnesota. You know what I mean? And doesn't know, or Ohio or something. You know, maybe he just doesn't know. And I researched him. He's from New York. Right? So we gotta call bullshit. You were not afraid on the subway in New York. I took the subway here. And you know what I saw on the subway here just tonight? There was a homeless man with his pants around his ankles, with a bottle of butter-flavored Crisco, and he was rubbing it on his underregions, okay? And he looked me in the eye, we locked eyes, and he was singing a song, and it went like this. Butter my balls, butter my balls. Bitch right there gonna butter my balls. You know what I called that? A Sunday afternoon. Was I scared? No, because I'm from New York. What I did was ask him a follow-up question. Excuse me, sir, am I the bitch right there that you expect to butter your balls? He said, no, baby, I'm just singing a song. Cool. And I went back to minding my business. Jordan Neely got on the subway and said, I am hungry, I am thirsty, and I don't care if I have to kill someone to go to jail. Why? Because he was hungry and thirsty. He had no weapons. And then this man choked him for 15 minutes until he died. You know you can knock someone out in 10 seconds like that, right? That's not a good Samaritan. That's what the military man and the good Samaritan. No, you know what a good Samaritan does? They help. They get you food and drink. That's what they do. He didn't do that. Not a good Samaritan. Me, on the other hand, I'm a fucking hero. Because I was walking to a show one night, and outside of the 7-Eleven, I was stopping to get a pack of cigarettes. There was a homeless man sitting outside, right? And he says to me, hey, sis, you got a couple dollars I could spare? I said, you know what, I don't. But I'm gonna go in here and get a pack of cigarettes. I'll get cash back, and I got you when I come out. The cash back machine wasn't working. So I came out feeling kind of bad and dejected, but I walked up to him and I said, hey, you know what? I couldn't get any cash back, but do you smoke cigarettes? He goes, actually, I do. I said, well, how about this? I'll keep 3 for myself. I'll give you the rest of the pack, and we'll call it square. He's like, okay, cool. And he was so moved by that tiny act of kindness, he asked me, could I have a hug? And like I said, I'm a fucking hero. So I said, of course you can, because he's a human person and he deserves human contact, just like any of us here. Now, when he stood up, he was exactly this tall. And then, much like now, my boobies were out, because they're glorious and everyone should see them. But now, me and this gentleman are locked in an ocular conversation. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, he's looking at my boobs. He's looking at my boobs, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And you can almost hear his thought process. He's like, should I hug this nice lady, say thank you, and go back to my box? Or should I risk it all? And at that moment, he began to smell between my breasts. I kid you not, this is a true story. I know. And before I could even react, he began to motorboat me. And in that moment, I was like, should I scream? Do I yell for the police? But then I remembered that I am not a white woman. And calling the police could get me and this gentleman killed. So I cradled his head. And I said, have at it, young man. Because not only am I a hero, I'm a philanthropist. And those were the cleanest boobies he's gonna get to smell for God knows how long. And if I have anything to do with it, every red-blooded American in this country will have a nice, clean pair of boobs to sniff at will. Franqi French 2024. So once he finished, I wiped the bum snot from my breast. And I said, we should introduce ourselves. We've been quite intimate. I'm Franqi French, what's your name? He said, well, sis, they call me Hambone. That's the coldest name in the game. I said, well, nice to meet you, Hambone. I went on to my show, and I didn't think about it again until about 9-10 months later. Around the same time, I'm in about the same area, and who do I see with a haircut, in a suit, with a key fob, boop, 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 into his own place? Who? That's right, Hambone! So I'm running after him like, Hambone! Hambone! And I catch up to him and he goes, actually, they call me Michael now. I said, okay, Michael, I see you, new suit, haircut, okay, key fob. I said, well, what you got going on, Michael? You look great. Like, is this your place? He's like, yeah, I live here. And I said, do you remember me? He said, of course I remember you, Franqi French. You saved my life. I said, I gave you a pack of cigarettes. That's the antithesis of life-saving. He said, no, you don't understand. I didn't smoke any of those cigarettes. I sold them on the street for a markup. I bought some more packs. I repeated the process until I had enough money to buy things like snacks and drinks and coffee, and I sold that on the street. And I had so much inventory, I got some guys to help me move product. I saved every penny, bought into a co-op, and now I'm doing pretty well. I know. Damn. I said, wow, Michael, that sounds impressive. That sounds like a very daunting process. How did you stay focused and motivated? He said, well, if I could be honest, it was those delicious ass titties. All right, you guys. I'm Franqi French.